So put your little moss deer hands together, because this week our special guest is Milouru, aka Gina. Round of applause, everyone. Hello.
Hello. I'm not muted, right?
Nope.
Should work. Am I the pro streamer now?
You're already doing better than me.
Literally, like disclaimer, but first stream, so I'm a bit nervous, but it's gonna be fine. Hello. Nice to see everyone. Hello.
You're already doing the proper waves. Everyone can hear you, so you're like already ahead of the curve.
Nice.
I like how the language actually is. We can hear you. Nicely
That's
done.
a good start, yeah. Then the base works.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, look at that. You have a little feedback right there.
Aw. You guys are so cute.
So if you would be so kind, why don't you walk us through who you are and what it is you do at Blank Hunts?
Yeah. I'm a junior concept artist at Blank Hands. I'm 23, and I started working at Blank Hands. I actually started with an internship last year in summer, and was lucky enough to be then taken over after the internship also. So that was really great. And yeah, also before the internship, I was already really, really hyped. Like when I saw that they were looking for interns, especially from the School for Games, where I also had my education. Like, I didn't even know there was a project based on Ultracore or whatever. That was like a tradition that I watched with my siblings all the time. I was super hyped. I was so happy. So it's like, oh my gosh, I gotta get this internship and I gotta get this job. And I'm so glad that I got it. It's just amazing. It's so cool. And yeah, now I ended up in a really great team doing work that I really, really enjoy.
So you are already a fan of the Ultracore world before even stepping foot into the role.
Well, yeah. I'm German. I'm German. Yes, that's actually really likely, I guess.
I love that response. It's not often that someone, at least I've seen, that they have a passion that they're a part of, a story that they love to be a part of. And the next thing you know, they say, you know what? I would love to be a part of the experience of bringing this world to life. And then here you are doing it. That's got to be like amazing.
Yeah. As soon as I noticed that there was recruiting going on from like a studio that was building around that, I texted my brother like, oh my gosh, there's this opportunity. You're not going to believe it. Oh, it was great.
So everyone's super proud of you, I imagine. Were you doing concept art for the world before even joining the role? Like sometimes if you're a fan of something, you're at home and you naturally do doodles of the thing that you enjoy before even having an opportunity to be employed there. Were you doing that?
Not of Ultracore. But yeah, generally, of course, like I've been drawing since first grade, second grade, I think, I'm not sure. Yeah, I've been drawing all the time, designing my characters, designing OCs for universes that existed also. Yeah, but kind of staying in my own bubble, doing the thing that I like. And yeah, I've been thinking all the time that the only thing that I could imagine doing was something related to art. Everything else felt kind of off. But I had a real big problem finding a way to make it a job. And then like at a convention, I saw like a booth of the School for Games, and I was like, I didn't even think of games before. Like it didn't ever cross my mind that you could work as a concept artist in game industry for some reason. Yeah. And then I started to make some fan art of games, in like school studying purposes. So yeah, before that, not really.
What was
especially not for Ultracore either.
What was your favorite thing to draw from games?
From games?
Yeah.
From games, as I said, I didn't draw a lot of fan art of games. I drew some Life is Strange fan art though.
Okay, respect.
Because I love Chloe. Chloe is in my heart. Chloe's great.
Chloe's life, huh? That's the one?
Yeah.
No love for Max?
Yeah, Max is, yeah.
I like that reaction.
Can debate about that.
Max
it's not black or white, but.
So since first and second grade. That's true. So you've been doing this for quite some time, and now it's brought us right here into Coreborn, this wonderful world. And I mean, Greece right away says, "Are you responsible for the awesome nocturnal creatures?"
No, actually, I'm not. That's what. That's one thing that I didn't work on, sadly. But they look amazing. I love them all. When I saw concepts from other artists, I was like blown away. They look so amazing.
How much time do you spend doing art in your spare time for the game that's not even meant to be for the game? Like obviously you have assignments saying, "Hey, you know what, Gina, we could use this," or "Gina, we could use that."
Hmm.
How much time do you spend you like drawing in your own spare time, saying, "Ooh, it'd be cool if I drew this. It'd be cool if I drew that."
It depends. Like actually, like sometimes more, sometimes less. But there was a phase where I would draw a lot of Nesmerians in my free time and use them as painting study and also like lighting or anatomy studies and stuff. And to draw some more dark and eerie stuff. I did one illustration of a hedonist as well, like a more moody one. I think most I did definitely when I started. Um, yeah, but then also, you know, private life sometimes kicked in. Recently, I don't even draw that much for myself, which I'm trying to pick up again. But yeah, most definitely when I started, which was like after work, usually I would spend an hour drawing by myself, something in that universe.
I think that's something that you're not alone with too. I think a lot of people struggle to do that. Even like myself, and when I speak to other people, like outside of here, outside of Blank Hans, I'm a content creator and I play games on stream, but I oftentimes don't find time to play games for myself. Like if I'm playing a game, I feel like it has to be on stream, it has to be on content. And I lost track of the ability to just play games offline without it being shown in front of a camera, to just enjoy the thing that I love doing the most, you know?
Yeah, I feel that. And also about art, like when you draw for work, you know that this is just a sketch stage and you're gonna push through because you know, of course you're gonna. It's gonna end up somewhere. But when you draw for yourself, it's way easier to just end up disappointed way too early and just, you know, like, okay, there's actually other things that I should be doing now and then just evade towards these things and responsibilities and that kind of sucks. Grish, don't tell that Alex. What's going on? That's betrayal.
He's always watching. He might watch the bot and see
Oh
that,
gosh.
but no snitching. You
Oh
know the
no.
rule.
Oh no. We're gonna have to battle it out or something. I'm scared.
Versus battle. Wonderful. Hey, Gina,
It's not gonna be
question
good.
for you. Just in case anyone's not familiar, what is a concept artist? Like, what separates a concept artist from any other type of artist within the world of this structure in gaming?
I mean, you could, for example, take a concept artist and, you know, art director or maybe an illustrator. We also had Jerry as an illustrator, for example. Maybe separating these two is pretty um, easy because an illustrator just, you know, conveys an overall picture and atmosphere and like commercial art for what you're doing. And then there's the concept artist who goes into detail and maybe does a lot of different things. There are environment, like it also depends on the studio size, um, on the amount of people in the studio, how specialized your work is. Like for us, for example, us as concept artists in the team, we do a lot of different things, not really specialized in anything, just like all rounders in a way, at least being trained to do that. And then there are studios where you can fully focus on a specific type of prop or just costumes for the character or whatever. Um, yeah, it totally depends. But for us, concept art means just, you know, working closely together with game design and 3D and animation and figuring out how to make things work that people want in the game.
Okay.
And for example, for clothing, discussing, hey, does this kind of shape work? Can we do? We had the whole thing with capes. If capes work well or not, or layered clothing or whatever. That's a lot of
Yes.
3D and also animation and game design talk. Also, how do you separate top and leg part of clothing, for example, when you have something like a skirt on? How do you do that and stuff like that? No capes. Yeah, not anymore. I promise.
No capes came out so quickly. Bring back capes.
No capes. No capes. Ah, we need an Edna here saying no capes.
I like that. So, as I understand it, you actually have some concept art with you today that you can showcase to us.
Yeah, actually, I do.
Yeah, I would like that. Let's go ahead and we'll take a look at that concept art together.
Mm-hmm. Um, yeah, I have a bunch of different concepts, and I guess I'm gonna just randomly pick from them and show some different things. I didn't actually make a plan on which of these I want to show. I also don't know how much we show during that time of the stream.
Okay.
But yeah, let's just see. That should work like it did before.
Okay, we'll get that booted up really quickly and showcase it. We'll go ahead and switch scenes. Hey, concept art.
Hey, yeah. So I'm gonna just go through different stages of some things that I concepted. That's the beginning stage of first explorational concepts for something that you might recognize.
I do recognize that.
I don't know. Do we want to wait for an answer, or do I answer?
I like Modelsko just using the wow. I love that emote so much. It makes me so happy.
It's so cute. They're all so cute. Shout out to Jerry. They're adorable, and I love the bonk
Shout
as
out
well.
to
I love
Jerry.
them all.
I agree with that. Shout out to
yeah.
Jerry.
So this is actually the Gatling gun from the adventure that got out like not too long ago. And yeah, basically that was something that actually was needed relatively quickly, if I remember right. And we were all like sitting together in a meeting, like brainstorming a little bit or sending over references of stuff. 3D was already making a block out that I could use for the first concept stage and everything. So that was one concept that worked like really hand in hand and really dynamically within the team.
Nice.
Can we have capes, please, Grish? I might try to push for more capes, but I won't have any power in that.
I love all the no.
But yeah, there I just worked with different references. Like it's basically always roughly the same process in concept art. Only it differs a little bit depending on how big the task is, how many iterations you need, how many people are working on it, and generally what kind of concept it is.
The adventure gun that we got, is it the one that you wanted in there? Like, did the one you want win?
Sorry?
Did the gun that was chosen, is it the one that you wanted as well? Like, it's a team effort saying we all agree that this is the best concept art we should use. But did you have a favorite, like saying, I like this design better?
Yeah, about this one, like we were discussing actually in call, if I remember right. And it was among my favorites. Like what was picked was the one on the top right, number B.
Yeah.
As a base. I also liked A. I liked the shape of A generally.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were like several things that played into that. Like it needed to be done relatively quickly. So we looked into what's the easiest for 3D to do, what could have cool sounds playing with all of that stuff. So yeah, then the decision found was really logic and also a really nice one. But yeah, then as usual, there's also usually, or at least often, a second iteration stage where I just take the concept that was picked as a base into some other iterations. That could be different color choices or a little different separation in elements or whatever. Say here, I also did some iteration here based on how we could simplify everything for 3D as much as possible with this one actually. And then 3D could basically choose how much time and effort they can put into that and how to make it look the best.
I like it. I like seeing the process the entire way through, like seeing the little bandage, the little band-aid on the side of the gun too for repairs. I love seeing
yeah.
that.
And yeah, then there were color combinations. And yeah, that's really straightforward, like just doing different color combinations, also seeing what works best from the values, what kind of has the best feel, also with the environment. If you remember in the adventure, like the little sewer environment, what fits best there. And yeah, there we went with 1. I don't know if you also recognize. And there I totally agreed with that choice. I also like the first one best. And it could happen that sometimes I totally set on the first one that I do, but then I do like 5 new iterations and I'm like, oh no, that's not going anywhere. But then like the last one ends up the favorite one. Surprisingly. And the first one kind of sucks looking at it again. So yeah, sometimes there's a surprise, sometimes there's totally not. Like here, I felt like I liked the first one the most. The rest was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna try it, but I don't really feel it with the dark metal and everything. But yeah.
Well, that's the cool thing too, I would imagine, is that doing the concept art and then actually seeing it in the game when it's fully 3D modeled and moving around and going, you know what? Actually, I do like it better in game than when I drew it, or even vice versa.
That's super, super cool, yeah. What was cool with this one was also to hear, like, just to hear the sound again from Alex that this gun makes.
Oh yeah, the little
Made me so
pa-chung,
happy. The
pa-chung.
little rumbling and yeah, that's awesome.
Shout outs to Alex.
Yeah, shout outs to Alex. Not enough. Yeah, and then there's the final Gatling gun. I also made some stickers for it because I thought it would be cute. Just smack some stickers on there.
No, they are very cute. I agree.
Yeah. And then there was also some other stuff that I did for the adventure because there needed to be some textures for the walls and everything. So I did some random graffiti and put them together in little mock-ups and stuff and little clusters. That's the word that I was looking for. And yeah, you know, like sometimes with a little story, someone writes victory, the other like scraps over that and writes cheater. Someone is like, hey, just playing for the fun, and someone else is like score.
I love environmental storytelling like that because like that was my first reaction is like me, I'm the one who feels like I lost because I play against Michael a lot. So I'm the one who writes cheater over victory. So I get that.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, but that's not human. I agree. Something's got to be off there. That's
a little too good at the game.
Yeah, then something that needed to be there for hiddenness. I love to be rich. But I don't know. I wanted that on the wall.
So are you the one who did the graffiti art for the one vendor that's down in the Moss Seas who has that on their door?
Graffiti for a vendor?
Yeah, there's a vendor who actually has like a door that says like stuff about being rich, I think.
Oh, well then somebody put that there. Maybe they did, yeah. If that's the same graffiti.
I think it is.
Then I guess.
Shout outs to you.
I wasn't aware that it was there actually, but yeah. Most graffitis actually like the F1 and everything, like the graffitis in Coreham and stuff were also done by Jerry before.
Nice.
So yeah, I wasn't sure what you meant, but yeah. And then like also, since you've seen all the assets kind of need an icon in game, so also the Gatling gun here got a little icon, just to show that in the in combination because I think that's nice to show.
Yes.
And yeah, what you can see there in black and white is just dirt and water damage textures for the walls and floors. That's just a few of the ones that I did. I'm not sure anymore how many I did, but a bunch that then could just be placed by 3D in different places to give some texture to everything.
I always think that's super interesting to see textures like that because like textures always look so unsettling to me when I see them without being placed on something. I'm like, what is that? Until I see it on a texture and I go, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I see. Wait. Like Coreborn, I still recall iterations that Gina and I had guns here during the portal skates. Yeah, exactly. Oh my, true. Like, I don't know who remembers here that there were these, like, portals when you went, traveled between Ambrose and Corheim before. And, you know, that changed to the gate being there. Actually, there were a lot of different iterations between that where Renee and I discussed a little bit, so... Yeah, I also remember that. I didn't prepare that, sadly, but yeah, it existed. That's true. But yeah, that was it for the Gatling gun. I think I have a little mock-up here in the end of everything, yeah. If an overview is nice.
You had to be so cool to see that come to life. It's like, I just love seeing this entire stage take place. Like Zendereth said, very cool to be able to see the process, and I agree. To see how it starts, how you choose one, and then when you choose one, improving upon that and making it easier for the 3D artists, and then choosing different colorways, and then when you decided on one, saying, you know what, I'm gonna add some stickers and some little fun things in there to make it my own.
Yeah, that's actually super fun. And also this one was so fun because like we literally like all sat together and it happened really quickly that this one was done. Like usually most of the time like concept works ahead a little bit and we do concept and then it lies around for a while until 3D picks it up. And then there might be a second round of iteration when they notice they need something else or whatever.
Yeah.
That's been missing in the concept. But yeah, this one, like, concept was done. Okay, 3D go. Okay, it's there. Oh, okay.
Okay, 3D go. I like that.
That was really cool. If I remember it right, but I'm pretty sure it was that quick. But yeah, that was the first one. I guess to show another one, I'll have to stop streaming and stream the next window.
There's Coreborn right there, and that's just the beginning. After that, it goes to the 3D artists before it goes back to the game designers and engineers to get it working in game.
Yeah. And then Alex with sound finally,
Yes.
after animation.
It's so cool that there's an entire process that takes place and everyone communicating with each
Yeah.
other to make sure it's as easy as possible for everyone to translate what is first written to what it does in game and how it should operate the entire time.
Yeah. And I mean, there with this one also, like for animation, you need to figure out how the character runs holding this gun, how it looks good and everything, and, you know,
Yes.
whole posture. It's also super interesting. Animation is like also for me a little bit of magic.
Yeah, I mean, that's why small things like small upgrades, even recently, like the falling animation, the flailing, and then landing with the superhero stance. Small things like that are such quality of life upgrades. They're cool to see, but it's a lot of work to get it just right.
VFX actually also, yeah, there's, I feel like you always forget something. There's just another instance that goes through. But yeah, actually oops. Oh gosh, I have something here in French down there.
more
Thanks.
More French stuff. We were going through that earlier.
Always, yeah, I'm in France. Whenever I get a pop-up window, this one's in French then, and I gotta do my best to understand.
Your entire world en français.
Yeah. Just as VFX were mentioned, maybe it's interesting that I show one VFX that I worked on.
Oh, look, here it is.
Actually, VFX are
right there.
Oh yeah, the Friendo one.
Yeah.
I remember the Friendo one being there, but the other one.
I love that. Nice. I remember when I was first doing the entire upgrade of all the vendors and showing the video for it behind the scenes. I arrived to this, and it's the first thing I noticed. I'm like, oh, another vendor. Wait, what is this? Friendo, I love being rich. Who put that there? Who made this? And now we know. Nicely done, Gina.
I didn't plan this.
It worked out so nicely, though.
And then it goes to the players and they don't notice all the work. Some people do, some people don't. I guess that's...
Might be part of, I think that's one of the benefits of having this show, honestly, and this weekly event, is to make sure that people understand, and this is just, I think, with any game company, not just Blancons and not just any game, not just Coreborn, is it's important to see the behind the scenes footage, I think, so you can see the process of what goes into making a game. So I think it gives you a better appreciation too, as a person who is either in the industry or even someone who is just playing the game. So when you ask for things that seem like small upgrades, like, you know, I don't understand why this game is a PlayStation 5 exclusive. Why couldn't you make it PS5, PC, and Xbox when you were building it from the ground up? You have to understand the infrastructure. You have to understand how hard it is for the artists, for the illustrators, for the concept artists, for the modelers, the animators, that even the smallest thing of why isn't the rain blowing this way? It all takes so much time to implement. And when you see it in action, it gives you a greater appreciation.
Yeah, I generally think that's really, really cool that everything is shared. There are also mixed opinions about this, I guess. But I really, really like it, and I think a lot of people really, really like it, and it really brings a bigger understanding of everything, I feel, which is really cool.
No, I 100% agree, and I like seeing the process. That's why I like having you as a guest this week, and that's why I liked having Dane as a guest, to understand what goes into creating a sound. And it's just not as easy as just pressing a few keys and a few chords and going, that'll sound good, but understanding the atmosphere and the location you are. And it's nice to hear kind of the same mindset with you, where you said when you were creating that gun for adventure mode, you took into account the environment. It's going to be in the sewers, primarily, for this one map. So shouldn't the gun reflect that? And if the gun does reflect the sewers, then how's it going to look? And I think that's super cool.
Yeah, that's something that we all discussed together and brainstormed about it. And I think that's the funniest thing, when people sit together and brainstorm. It was always fun. Sometimes throwing a lot of things on the Miro together, discussing things, having different ideas. That's really fun.
Totally agree.
All right. Don't know, should I go on with something else?
Yeah, absolutely.
What could we do?
It's your world.
Maybe just because it has something that you people might recognize, but it looks totally different on the first iteration.
Ooh.
So that's interesting.
I love recognizing stuff. I love guessing games.
It's not recognizable, but maybe in a way it is what it could become. What it could be without having the actual concept in mind.
Whoa, check this out.
Wait, I have the stuff down there. So cheating.
I love how it says joyful.
That's different expressions on the top there.
Oh, I love it. May I make a wish on what to tell by Gina?
Oh. Well, I don't know if I prepared the concept, but if not, I could even quickly download it. You can make a wish.
Oh, like I can quickly download it.
Then I can go I can go to that afterwards.
Mobility question mark? Yeah. I love seeing that kind of stuff. I love seeing the thought process written out.
Yeah. That was like how could the knees bend with this or whatever. So yeah, I mean, that was a task where I should think about the juristograph. And what I got for this task was actually only like a short story that Hauke wrote, where the juristograph like happens to be there in that story and was described a little bit. And like was described a little bit how it moves, how it sounds. You know, it's like kind of really agile, but also a little bit, you know, old metal everywhere, some steam sounds, some, you know, metal sounds, sounding really old and everything. And yeah, you know, juristographs are like administrative little robots, creatures. And yeah, they have a lantern head. That was like the main recognizable aspect that was described. So first I found this one lantern that you see there on the top, and I thought that looks like eyes. That looks adorable with the lamp in the middle. That could be, you know, the eye.
Yes.
And it looks kind of adorable, and you could do expressions with that. So I played with that, and I thought, maybe that works.
I love that you have like the little shutter on the front for processing and joyful and lights out that act as eyelids. That's so clever.
Yeah. That was the first idea that I had, but somehow I wasn't like fully happy. It wasn't like, I think, an all-round good design. Somehow I like the idea of the head, but the building everything around it kind of didn't work out that well for me. So what I did next was exploring different lantern lamp heads that it could have, or different arms, just elements that I would like to try. Because you know, when you settle on one thing too quickly, that could maybe not work out. So I explored some different things. You might already recognize a head there.
Oh yeah, that's the person I trade my crystals to.
Yeah. And yeah, I did a little rework there on the number D, and tried to make it work a little better. And I also did like 3 other explorations. And actually, number C is the one that was picked, and also it was my favorite at that time. It kind of has an interesting and fun derby character. Like it's not able to really show expressions in the way of a facial expression. But I think that's kind of fun. That also has like a little jaw there.
Yeah.
And just the lamp is just like one big eye. And everything is like dangling down somehow. And while walking, I just imagine it to look super funny.
Like, ugh.
Yeah, but also it could be like really shaky and weird and old, but it could also have like a really smooth movement, which was also described in the story, I think.
I gotta be honest, I love all of them. I want an entire city full of nothing but these 4.
Oh man. I mean, maybe in Askelia there could be some other robots running around. I don't know, but
that's true. You hear that, Coreborn? Soon TM?
Maybe.
Question mark? You know, actually, Greece asked a good question. How long does this drawing kind of take you?
That totally depends. I think also this one was relatively early when I started. That took me way longer. I don't remember how long the whole juristograph took, but I think also time tracking was not that big of a thing back there. Right now, for a similar thing, I would maybe take, I guess for a juristograph, you would do quite some exploration, like maybe 2 days or something. 2.5, 2.
Now, is your process the same or similar or different than Alex, where Dane says in order to get in the mood for creating music, he has this walk that he does from a home to somewhere else. He cuts through a forest area, and just being around nature and being around a populace gives him creative ideas to make the music that he wants to, or being influenced by outside noise. Are you the same way when you create art? Is there a certain environment you have to be in? Is there a certain music you have to listen to?
Music sometimes depends on the mood, but sometimes could totally differ from what I'm drawing, actually. It would just fit the mood that I'm in right now more than what I'm drawing mostly. But walking, I love to walk in forests, and it's also really inspiring. It helps me to think and brainstorm. The thing is, around here, I don't really have a forest.
Oh.
So I can't really do that. It's not really like a nature-rich area I'm here in here. But yeah, at my home with my family, I often go through big walks in forests and also start writing down or sketching down ideas while I'm outside or something. I actually like to do that, yeah. But
Okay.
right now, for work, I don't.
I like it. You know what? Coreborn earlier said in reference to the idea, your thesis worked and landed you the job.
Ah, my thesis, yeah, actually. I don't know if I'm allowed to show the thesis in here. If so, I think I could find the concept. Wait.
What do you think,
You mean
Luari?
the
Is
School
that
for Games thesis, right? I don't find the comment.
balls in your court, Rene? You brought it up. We're gonna find out how far this goes.
My thesis work that landed me.
Yeah, the
I
Nosmarians.
think, yeah. If I can show that, I could show it.
Hey, go for it.
Oh, cool. Okay, then I'm gonna do that after. Because
Perfect.
yeah, actually, like after there was the first interview, or after I noticed that there was a job opening for this studio for this project, I had my final thesis at the School for Games, and as there was no like real concept for the nations or whatever, I just asked Hauke or Renee. I'm not sure whom I asked. I think Hauke. Like, hey, is there a nation that you would like to see concept for? Because it would be really, really cool challenge for a final thesis to have a universe and a nation and know that you want to build a game around it and just make concept for a character of one nation that's already described. That's like the perfect thesis. I was like, geez, I want to do that. That would be great. So yeah, then I got the reply, hey, Nosmarians, we don't really know what we want them to look like. Go ahead, do some concept. It would be great. So yeah, I did that then for my final thesis, which was really cool.
That means before the stream is over, we might see some Nosmarian thesis art.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, you might. It might not 100% represent what will be in the game later, because I guess that will be a new design process, and there's already been some new iterations and everything.
Oh, don't worry, Gina. We have
yeah.
we have a thing for that. It's called WIP soon, and they know
yes.
that.
WIP soon.
They know it.
Soon TM. Soon TM.
Yep.
What did I want to say? But yeah, that's the kind of the Nosmarian that you see in, for example, the like comic or the first trailer that there was or whatever. They're shown there as well. It was based on the design that I made. But yeah, before we go there really quickly, Juristograph. Renee's sending me the files in the meantime. Thank you.
Shout outs to Renee.
But yeah, here for the Juristograph that was chosen then, like a little front view render. Took care that the metal looks dirty and not too reflective, not too pretty or clean or everything. And did some exploration on how it could move also, and where the important punch card slot could be. And with these arms, I thought it would be funny to be in the back, like to just reach back like that.
That actually is funny.
Yeah, did some movement studies there, how the head could move. Maybe it could also be part of an expression, how the jaw moves and how it's attached. And also an idea that all the limbs, the way they look, they could easily extend. And I also thought for an administrative robot, like to reach high shelves or anything, different layers of, you know, like an administrative building, that would be really, really cool. It could just stretch its legs and be on a different level. You know, that would be super fun.
Oh, yeah, that would be so cool.
So yeah, I don't know if it will be in the game like that, or if so, when or whatever. It was just an idea that I had.
No, I like that idea a lot, which means it has to be in the game. Animation team, if you're looking at this, we need to set up a location where we have one of these administrators putting a book on a high shelf, just so we can see that in action.
Just constantly putting it up and then taking it back down and reading it and then putting it up again.
Yes, exactly that. Yes.
Or, oh, no. it puts the book back up, and then there's a dribbling that pushes it down, and it has to put it back up again.
Look at
Do that all the
this.
time.
Your ideas at work. You're so good. You just hear like the little chip.
It would be ridiculous, but I love it.
Yes.
I wish, like, yeah, these kinds of things would be amazing.
I love it.
But yeah, then I guess for the request, I'm gonna see.
I love the notes because that's how my brain works too. Like I don't do a lot of art, but when I do note taking, I always have like little notes in side sections with question marks. Like, what if it does this? What if we can do this? Does it look like this? Does it stretch? Jaw? Question mark.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually like a super fun part in concept, and also making callouts and notes for 3D. Often there are specific requests for callouts, like when you do a creature, to definitely do an open mouth to see how the teeth look and the inside of the mouth and everything, because it could easily be forgotten.
True.
I kept forgetting that. Or yeah, specific poses, turnarounds, do it without the arms one so we can see everything.
What would you say is while you're getting the files all set up? What would you say so far has been the easiest, and what has been the most challenging concept art that you've done so far?
From all of them, the most challenging I think is easy to answer. Megalos.
Oh, okay.
I could also show some progress of that because there was like really a back and forth and keep trying to do something because I'm really not an experienced creature artist.
The biggest asset in the game was the hardest one.
Yeah, I was like, oh gosh, a dinosaur, a huge dinosaur that somehow looks really recognizable like a typical dinosaur, but also really unique with character. Like, okay, that's not just some dinosaur, it's Megalos.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a whole NPC that says, wow, real Megalos.
Yeah. But now to see Megalos is so cool. And that, like, actually we're turning in circles. I can first do the Nosmerians and then Megalos. Maybe that's
okay. Yeah,
a good way of doing it, because then we're not gonna jump too much.
That does sound challenging. Of like, hey, Gina, hello. First off, great job with this right here. This looks fantastic. We need you to draw the biggest dinosaur in the world. So
I was honestly really nervous, and I was also honest about it and like voiced my concerns. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not that good at creature design, at least not yet. And Megalos, I'm gonna take time for that. Is that okay? We're like, yeah, sure, challenge yourself, let's go. And there were some really down times, but finally when I got to a point where it worked, it was so cool. It was super, super cool.
And put a city on top. Exactly, play Coreborn. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, actually, like, just a general thing that I can say what I love about the job is that I do so much different concept art, like that I kind of jump into all different topics, like icons, VFX, character, outfits, props, tools, yeah, like everything, and that's so cool. It's sometimes really challenging, but always really, really cool.
It has to be really gratifying when you see the final work, when you go through all the trenches and you finally see the art brought to life, or you see it finalized and someone says, yes, that's it, that's what we're looking for, and then just seeing it, it must be overwhelmingly joyful.
It is, actually, yeah. And like with every playtest, the more we played, and when I saw another thing in game that I took part in, it was super cool. Or already, always when you talk to 3D in a call, whatever, and get feedback, and they're like, yeah, we can make this work, this is super cool. You're like, yeah. I'm hyped. They're like, I love your work, and you're like, no, I love your work. No,
this is one big. No, I love your work. You're the best.
No, you're breathtaking. You're
exactly.
breathtaking.
We'll have Kiana in the show one day too. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, we get there definitely. Gosh. Yeah, I think I'm sharing the Nosmerian.
Oh yeah, there you are. I see you.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and bring that up. And
honestly, these ones, because I didn't think I'd show them, I didn't order them, so it might be a little mess.
Wow, exclusive look right now. First look on stream. Thesis concept art. WIP, by the way.
Yeah, WIP.
That's so cool.
What drove this concept was actually like a little nightmarish look. You know, like if you would see that as a silhouette somewhere, it should look terrifying somehow. So a lot of spiky shapes, the metal everywhere. And what my idea was, like, actually, I don't know, I can skip there. I think the first stuff that I did as an exploration after writing a lot for the thesis was
Oh
actually
my
this
god,
one.
that's so cool.
Because I was thinking about like Nosmerians, if they are supposed to go outside sometimes and also be in Coreheim and everything, they need some sun protection.
Right.
So I thought about how they could protect themselves from the sun. Like, you could have a really typical cape with a hood, yeah, okay. But what else could you do? Like, there could be a little child that looks super terrifying just with hair all around her, just covering her
Can
body.
hair cover
or
enough? That's so cool.
or just a huge generally the idea that I went for here, like you've seen, is a veil. I think, is that how you say it in English? Veil?
Yeah, veil.
Yeah. So either with a big umbrella or even a hat that kind of looks a little bit sassy, or just a veil, as you'll see, like as you've seen in the finished concept, or a hood that looks a little bit more interesting, like a little patchwork hood.
I like the
thing.
veil because it's very deceiving. Like if you saw this person just walking around in Coreheim with the veil, it does give a degree of elegance where you would think, oh, this looks like a very kind person, and then you find out they're Nosmerians, and they're in desperate need of taking, what belongs to you, i.e., my blood. I was discussing the veil and how deceptive it was, and how they can look elegant, and not giving off the appearance of how deadly Nosmerians actually are, how unassuming it is.
Yeah,
then
I
you
think
start
like
the answer.
an interesting problem about them is that, I guess, something creepy should kind of have a cool, elegant aesthetic, but also Nosmerians are not supposed to be really like fully elegant vampires. They're not like the cliche "I'm glittering in the sunlight" vampire. They're like rather a disturbing kind that's lurking in the shadows, and you don't really want to see them.
Yeah,
Otherwise, they're
very
gonna take your blood
Nosferatu
for their
style.
things. Yeah, please no. Yeah, but when they just sent me,
Please no.
Gina's back. Yeah, I'm back. That was actually like when I started my thesis, while writing stuff and everything. What I first did was like looking for references for Nosmerians, what their appearance could be like in very different ways, and also some really, really cartoony stuff.
I love that, like
To see how
almost
stylized
that
that could
Edward
go.
Scissorhands type over there.
Yeah.
Love that one.
And the interesting thing is that was so far at the beginning that there was not even like a set style for the characters. So I could just like, I was just exploring what direction I could go with this. And it didn't have to be the style that would be chosen at some point, just something that looks nice and works. So yeah, and the workflow that I had there, like I kept just sending progress to Hauke and Renee, and got feedback in form of a video by Hauke usually, and then kept working on it. Or I kept working on it without feedback and just noted down where I made decisions and stuff if I didn't get feedback in time. So yeah, that was really cool. It was actually already like working with the team a little bit. That was really, really cool.
I can see how your thesis landed you the job, because this is outstanding stuff.
Thank you. Actually, yeah, some thesis sketches that are really quite messy. But it was also just about first appearance, how really different Nosmerians could look. And yeah, I did some different kinds of characters that I could imagine. It could be wine, it could be blood, you don't know, you're not sure.
That's true.
You're not sure.
Love that.
We will never know.
True, Sharkiti.
So there were some different notes. Also, like some different thoughts on how they could, how they could consume, like they don't really consume blood. They consume something that they use blood for to prolong their life. And yeah, how they could store it, how they could consume it, how they work with technology in a way, like a little syringe gun. Do you say syringe? Is that the right
syringe?
pronunciation?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Syringe?
Yeah.
Yeah. And here the little horror child that I thought about, like it looks kind of cute. Then you tap on the head, you say, "Hey, do you need help?" And it turns around and it's terrifying.
That's awesome. That can't be.
Child. I like stylized horror stuff. I think also Renee knows that. Like someone else in the company also.
A very Junji Ito style.
But yeah. And
Wonderful.
here's a little hood thingy. This one looks a little bit more like a scavenger type of Nasmarian that runs around and looks for anything that they could collect blood from.
That is a large stabbing apparatus.
Yeah. And here just, you know, what could like something like a like high society Nasmarian look like.
For sure.
A little bit like this one, but in a really different way.
The cute
also with
horror
all of this, like,
club of blank hands, says Blake Coreborn. It's funny.
Yeah, the cute horror club. It's amazing. We like horror in all of its facets. The only thing that I'm not the biggest fan of is when it's combined with shooter, because I'm not good at it. I'm gonna cry and die. I'm gonna curl up in the corner.
Same.
But yeah. New creepy creature concept art for Skiliath. I guess when it's time, but I mean, Renee, I have the bat here. I don't know if I can show this one, but I have a little bat here.
Ooh, a bat. I like bats. I think bats are cute.
Me too. Me too. Even though they're like moths, they would be terrifying when they fly over you. But when you just see them up close, they're adorable.
He said enough teaser.
Okay, enough teaser. Then I hope I'm not just gonna skip through it by accident. What else do I have here? Because I think I have.
Can we have them as pets? You know, Warsu, you might be closer to the center of the skillet than you think. That's all I'll say about that.
Ooh.
Wink.
Tease. Wink.
No, this is all
But
like
yeah,
so cool.
Some work in progress line art right here, you know, all documented for the final product. And first I actually did it in magenta.
Oh my god, that looks
then
so
I
good.
did some color variations.
Oh my god, never mind, that looks
red
so
and green
cool.
because it's complementary.
Merry Christmas.
In purple and in magenta.
I won all of them.
Yeah, and that stuff happened later than some different types of explorations on what different kinds of veils there could be, or pipes, or whatsoever. Or also, you know, what their teeth look like, because they don't actually probably have vampire teeth, but just some kind of machinery or mask or whatever that acts like their teeth, where they can then store the blood somewhere else externally.
It's just so neat to see concept
I'm so sorry
art.
about the bad preview. That's why I said I know that I have it somewhere in here. So maybe just for the YouTube video it could be like blurred or something.
Oh yeah, well, I'll take care of that. Don't worry about that. That'll be no problem.
But yeah, there were some more concepts, but I didn't download more right now. I also think maybe that's enough tease.
Yeah, I think that's sufficient. Yeah. That's plenty.
Yeah, maybe.
Thank you, Gina, for showing that off.
No problem.
Great.
Of course, it wasn't like the whole thesis, but it was the essence of it.
I can see the essence at work.
Some more iteration stages.
I could see the essence at work, and that was really cool and really fantastic to look at. Now, you told us the hardest thing for you was Megalos. What has been the easiest concept art for so far?
The easiest? That's hard to say. It's really hard to say what's the easiest. Maybe making an icon for something that already exists, where you just work over it and just make an icon out of a screenshot that you already have or something.
Fair enough.
That might be the easiest. A little icon.
Perfect. A little icon.
But
oh, does Gina do all the concept art?
No, I don't. For the shortest amount of time, I did the majority of it. But no, I don't. Gladly, that would probably be too much.
That would sound like a tremendous amount of work.
Oh yeah, couldn't do it all. Amazing people with amazing skill who were so fast. Also in comparison to me, probably.
I mean, you went from thesis to junior concept artist just like that, so the decisions you're making are good decisions, and the art you're creating is great art.
Thank you. Can't deal with compliments, but thank you.
No, I understand this. Like, whatever. If you say so, I guess. You know, whatever. I feel that way. So, with that
Anyway,
being said, is there anything else that you didn't get a chance to go over that you want to touch on as a concept artist?
I mean, either we could look at Megalaws, which was quite a journey of stuff that I wasn't too great at, but then ended up somewhere, which might be interesting because it's, not the usual progress. Or some VFX of the town borders, just to see how VFX work, or some workbenches with stages.
Let me
Don't
ask
know which is
you
most interesting.
a question, if you don't mind.
Sure.
If someone right now was watching the stream and is curious about how to get started as a concept artist, what advice would you give them?
Generally, dealing with how, like, what you would have to deliver as a concept artist, what people would need to see. Generally, like, I guess not just drawing your character for something and being happy with it and you have your one OC. Like what I did, for example, for OCs, I did huge variations on outfits, for example, as a representation of how I could do costume design, or also thinking what could the room of the character look like what makes my character their character. How do they live? How does it look? Whatever, their living space. Also in different lighting settings if you want to test lighting. But yeah, maybe generally it really depends on where you want to apply. But I guess as a concept artist, it's good to apply everywhere. Um, some people say really specialize on something. Like for me, what I heard in my education was specialize on character art and don't show too much different stuff because that's not like your key strength, and just focus on the one thing. But what actually got me to stay in the team was like being able to do other things or challenge myself with other things. So I guess it depends on how big the company is that you will work for. But yeah, it's not such an easy black or white question.
Sure.
There's gonna be different people looking at your portfolio saying, this sucks, do it differently. Then you go to someone else and they tell you, hey, now you should have done it this way. And you're like, oh, that's what I did before. Might happen, it's just opinion of what people want to see and what they like to see. But generally also, what I heard a lot, people are gonna quickly look at the top of your portfolio, see the first images and make a really quick decision. Do I keep looking or do I not keep looking? So basically, don't overthrow your portfolio with too many confusing things. I think it's good to be streamlined. And for me, I had an art test for stuff that was still missing and that I wanted to see. So
That makes sense.
with environment and the little creature,
It sounds like
stuff
a
like that could also
resume or
happen.
a cover letter or a demo reel where you have to grab them right away. So the first 10
Yeah.
seconds of reading, of viewing of anything are crucial because right away, if they see that and go, oh, this is what I'm looking for, they're more likely to continue scrolling or continue watching to see the rest of what you have to offer. But your strength is on display right away, what you can do.
Yeah. And what was said here, there's massive competition and you need to have a diverse and strong portfolio. Yeah, as I said, the diverse is like a discussion point, as I feel from my little few experience that I have. But I also personally agree with it, and that's also what I wanted to do. I wanted to have a diverse portfolio, and I think I was rather told otherwise a little bit by some people, but yeah.
It sounds like you could do a
We're gonna believe
combination of
someone has
both.
a lot of opinion. Well, yeah, definitely. Like, keep your biggest strengths on top, but also leave some space for exploration, I guess, and different things.
Yeah.
Or as I said, like combine, like what I did was combining for my application at the School for Games, combining different areas of expertise with what I wanted to do. Like I have my favorite OC, and I explored around that, like different outfits or lighting, environmental room design, and whatever. I just built that around it, and I think it's also what people like to see is like a silver lining through your portfolio, or at least some projects that like are rounded up, kind of things that work together. Not just there was maybe one weakness in my portfolio, just having some singular images of some concepts that I made that didn't have any context or any other backup concept that belonged to that universe or that context or whatever, was all like kind of out of context and like, okay, why did you do that? Maybe that was also a little weakness in my portfolio. It seemed a bit random.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
I love random. So I would have been like, hey, hired.
But yeah, generally for characters, clothing, props, or anything. Like if you do something like that, I guess turnarounds generally are really good for whatever you will work on. And the expressions or callouts or whatever, posing, some animation notes, like stuff that could actually be used as help to create something out of your concept. I guess that's generally thinking about what people need. That's the greatest thing you could do. That's like really weak junior advice that I have.
No, I like that. To me, that's very evergreen advice. I feel like that's consistent advice that would work across all levels, and I accept it. I think it's great advice. So thank you very much for that. Originally, I was going to have you showcase the Megalos and everything else. We've been running for about an hour now. And
oh, it's already.
See how much time flies by when you're having fun with this stuff?
How?
But the cool, because you just made it freestyle. You just made it fun. And I think the cool part is if we save that concept art, we have something to look forward to next time. That way we can leave
True.
everyone here, all the Coreheim faithful, all the Coreborn faithful, you can leave them wanting. Like, when's Gina gonna be back to show off more concept art? I want more. Well, guess what? You'll get more next time. The same way we brought back Renee for 2 times. Maybe we can bring you back in the future again. What do you say?
Well, yeah. Yeah, reveal. The timing was all planned to tease with
Yeah.
Megalos and not show it.
Hey, see? Easy. Light work. Well, Gina, thank you so much for being here and showcasing all of your concept art that you've done for Blank Hans. Thank you for sharing your journey along the way, too, and sharing some very evergreen advice for everyone watching. As we close out this stream right here, is there anything else that you want to say to everyone who is watching?
Just first of all, thank you for having me. It was really enjoyable. I was really nervous in the beginning, but you all are really, really sweet. Made it really enjoyable and nice. And thank you all for your support. The messages are really, really sweet. And even when I'm not here actually talking to you, I most of the time watch the streams and read the comments. And I'm so happy about them. So yeah, lots of love to all of you. You're adorable.
That's my
finishing speech.
Is there any location that you would want them to look either for social media or a portfolio, or do you want to keep that all to yourself, or do you have none, or?
I didn't work on it for a long time, but yeah, basically, I mean, under the name Milouru, one way or another, I guess you could find me somewhere, or...
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
But generally, I didn't work on my portfolio a lot lately, so...
So also
gotta get back to it, and if I do, I'm gonna reveal it more.
Little birdie told me that someone is considering maybe streaming in the future. Maybe. Maybe.
I don't know. I've just been told by my partner that whenever I play video games, I comment every tiniest thing that I do and that I see all the time, and that's a streamer quality.
Something to look forward to. So maybe you all right now could follow Milouru, and then maybe in the future.
I don't promise.
No, there's no promise.
I don't
but
promise anything.
If they follow and you happen to go live without telling anyone, they'll get a notification so they can be there to support you.
That's sweet. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Gina. Thank you for showing up, being here. Everyone, Milouru. Hey, thank you. Thank you all for being here. We're going to raid. If you don't know how we raid, it's very simple. There is a message that we do. Something about a mouse patch. So make sure you say mouse patch or whatever. Thank you for watching the weekly Coreborn stream. We'll catch you later. Be good. So keep an eye out. Until then, I'm Adrian, your community and social media manager. Have fun out there, Ambrosians. Or maybe pretty soon it's not just Ambrosians. Sorcians? Sorcians, what would that mean?